Hi there, welcome back to my channel. I have another update for my July challenge of finishing projects. So the project that I finished this last week was this paper bag album. It's a little boy album. So I have another little girl album, a family album, and a Christmas album that I will also try to get done. That's all in the paper bag format, and I will probably make them exactly the same way as I've done this one, so those ones should go a lot faster than this one, because this, I tell you, this was a challenge. It was so hard to work with paper that is so outdated, but I think I managed it anyways. So the paper I was using is this Paper Pizzazz sheets, the blue, yellow, and green. So, and I think I figured out that this is from 1999, so it is quite old. You can tell by the scrapbook layout that they have on the front what scrapbooking looked like back then. So yeah, I do have a few scrapbooks that kind of have a similar look to them. And yeah, so I used pretty much everything. There was a few scraps, but I'm putting them into a bag of scraps that I will deal with or give away or sell or whatever at a garage sale or something. But anyways, we used up this paper pad and I'm so happy it's done. And yeah, so we did the paper bag album, and then I got 9 different cards out of it. So I will walk you through everything that I created in this challenge. So this is project number 3 that I have done. I fixed an album that I had needed to fix for a long time. I did the Konnichiwa album, which there is a video on that if you want to go check that out. But this is the baby boy paper bag album, and I'll take you through the cards first. So there was quite a bit of paper left over that I couldn't let it go. I had to use up a good chunk of that too, so I figured, well, the best way to do that is cards. And so I haven't got any baby cards. I might have one baby card in my Etsy shop, so I decided I would make a whole bunch of baby cards. So they kind of have a vintage look to them, hopefully not looking too outdated. I guess time will tell. So whether people think that they're too old-fashioned or what. So I found a whole bunch of vintage images that I had in my stash from years ago. I was collecting anything vintage because I didn't have a whole lot of access to internet stuff and didn't know where to find vintage photos and stuff like that like I do now. So anytime I came across anything that looked vintage, I saved it to my computer, printed off some. A lot of those files are lost now. Some were from scrapbook lines that I think Crafty Secrets was one of the product lines that came out with vintage photos to use for card making and scrapbooking and stuff. So some of these are from there. Some are from hot off the press. They came in like a book that had like a sheet of punch outs, I guess. I don't have the cover for these anymore, but I know they were from hot off the press, I believe. But anyways, yeah, so I just went through and I found ones that had similar colors to my paper and just made a whole bunch of cards. They are kind of girly, so I didn't make it so much girl or boy or whatever, so I'm not sure how people purchase cards these days. Like, my baby years are like long gone. so and I don't have a whole lot of family that's having babies. I don't have a whole lot of people I know that are having babies right now. So anyways, so this one is just a baby card, and I kind of copied off of some cards that I had made previously just to make it easy to put these together. So they have this lace punched, like it's a Martha Stewart punch, and edge, And then I just used some of the papers and just layered them up. And then this image is a Jack and Jill nursery rhyme, which the picture throws me off because the kids falling down the hill are upside down, so it always looks like the picture is upside down, but the words are upright. So yeah, there's a Jack and Jill welcome baby one. I don't know if that's, I know a lot of people have been going through old nursery rhymes and how dark a lot of them were. And Jack and Jill is probably one of those, but it's classic. So yeah, so the next one is this little mom tucking in her baby. And so we just have a blank inside. And then we have this little baby in a tub. And then we've got this little teddy bear. And then this little baby playing with a doll. And then this little teddy bear on a tricycle. They all have basically the same, I use different punches on different ones, but they basically have the same idea. So, and then there's this little baby sleeping. And then of course the 3 little kittens. And this little stroller. So they're all very, very vintage looking. Okay, so let's get into the album. Let's see if I can keep the camera focused. Alright, so I'm going to just bring this closer for the album. Let's see if I can get a good shot. Okay, so this is the Baby Boy album, and I just decorated the, I still like this look, with the coils, with all the ribbons on it. And I've noticed at craft fairs too, that really does draw people when they see the binding on these albums. So I just grabbed whatever I had in my stash, and that was a real challenge because I have a lot of frilly, girly type stuff. I do not have a whole lot of baby stuff, and I don't have a lot of boy stuff. So yeah, I'm probably more attracted to the frilly girl stuff, so to make this album more boyish, I had to really think beyond the box. But I think I made it relevant despite the age of the paper. When I first picked up this album, I actually was like, before I started decorating it, I was just like, oh, should I just throw it away? I don't know. Is it just one of those write-off moments where it's like it doesn't inspire me? But I plugged through it, and I managed to get this album done. So yeah, this is the first page, and of course, if you saw my challenge video, then I kind of walked through what I had already made from this album. So we have the pull-out tags, and then I just took some of my pictures that I had, vintage ephemera that I had, and I had these little stars, one of those things where it's like, oh, this package is so cute and I don't want to use it, I want to wait for something special. Well, I decided it's time to use it. There'll be more special things later at some other time, I'm sure. So, and then I just found a whole bunch of buttons and sequins that I just added along here just to give it more of a boy feel. And then I have the photo tags, and I haven't done this very often, is put the place photo here, but I've realized that I really need to do that, because when people look at these albums when I'm at a craft sale or something, they really don't know what it is. Because I think scrapbooking, it's still popular in some circles, but in the mainstream it is not that popular anymore. Like, I hear often that the people that come to my booth will say, oh yeah, my mom used to do this. So it's kind of, there's a generation gap already that their moms used to do it, but they do still like it. So I think it's still worth pursuing. And I mean, to be honest, to have just all your photos on your phone where only you can see it, or it's very awkward to show other people your photos because you're leaning over them because you don't want them to handle your phone too much. I mean, it's a good idea regardless to print some photos, especially the ones that mean the most to you. I hear of young people that they just like, oh, I'm done with these photos, I'm going to delete them. And then a couple of years later, it's like, oh, I shouldn't have deleted that photo. Because our photos are our memories. And when you get older, those memories fade. And it's nice to have the photos to keep it fresh in your memory and stuff. So that's why I still do a lot of scrapbooking and stuff. So, because it is just the best way for people to look at your photos and to document what the photo was about. So yeah, hopefully there will be a resurgence in that art form. I mean, it does go through stages. I know it used to be as soon as you could have photos and stuff like that, or even memory books, that was a thing like way back, way before our time. But it kind of changed over the years, especially when cameras became more available to people. Then it was more like just stick it in a magnetic album and then you can look at the pictures, which is good too. That was, I guess, a form of scrapbooking. Some people would write on the back of their pictures and document that way so that there's some information as to what the picture was, and that can be a good idea. It's just sometimes what you use to write on the back of it can eat away to the front. So it's kind of nice to have a photo album where you can have like a little tag beside that says what it is, or a little label underneath, or journaling cards or whatever. Like if you put the picture on here, you can flip over and you can write what the picture is about. So then you have your documentation there. So the next page that I did was just a trifold page. I wasn't really happy with this bear that I thought I'd put in here, but it will stay. It's not terrible, but it's not that great either. But anyways, I just made this clasp or whatever because I didn't know if I wanted to use magnets and stuff for this particular album, because I didn't know if I was going to finish it at the time. So I wanted something that had low commitment value to it. But anyways, I have a place for your photo here, and you can journal on the sides too if you like. But yeah, I just made this closure. And the reason also that I didn't do magnets is because it's getting harder and harder for me to find magnets. Basic Gray always had the little disc ones that I really love. They're really thin, and I do have a place where I know where to get some, but it means like going out of the way to order them and then waiting the time frame to order them. So I'm kind of a little bit stingy when it comes to using my magnets. I want to make sure that I love the project that I'm using them on. So anyways, then we have this next page, which is the same pocket page. I have the same kind of tags. There's the one that comes out this way. And I just found some stickers that I had in my stash and then incorporated all through the album. I will have incorporated the sequins just to tie it all together, and buttons. So this is just a plain page. It's just a photo mat, and I left it open so that you can tuck the photo behind there. And of course we have our next tag. And then again, same type of page. This picture is actually, at one time when my kids were small, Ann Getty's baby photos were such a popular thing at that time, and I had received a calendar of Ann Getty's pictures and stuff like that. So before I got rid of the calendar, I cut out all these little pictures thinking, oh, they're good for cards, or they're good for something. So yeah, I discovered those in my stash that I had tucked away and decided to use it here. There's a cute little stork with some babies wrapped in some cloth. And then I had some burlap and some buttons. Again, trying to find as much as I could that wasn't too girly. And of course I have my photo mats here, and then we have this little pocket which has the photo tag in, and then I punched a bunch of these burlap stars out, and I realized, well, since I've got stars going on and I used burlap on this side, then I might as well use the burlap star as well. So stars, I think, are a very good boy version of a flower. Like if you use a lot of flowers for girls, use stars for boys. I think that works very well. So I had this little ball trim in my stash, and used that for that page. And then again, another little vintage picture with some teddy bears. And then we have another star, some buttons, and I found this little baby bottle sticker. That was also a Crafty Secrets sticker page. I think that was, do I have that? Yeah, I don't know if you remember these. They were quite popular, and at least where I'm from anyways, they were popular. I think it was a Canadian company too. But they had all kinds of vintage sticker sheets and cutouts and stuff like that. So, and then again, we just did a basic photo here, and another one of those stickers that I just removed the stickiness from. I had these little buttons that I thought were cute. I remember getting them, and I can't even remember what I wanted to use them for. And that's the thing with not using the stuff right when you get it, is if you had a plan for it, well, those plans are probably, can't remember them unless you wrote them down somewhere. And sometimes things change, and what you thought was a good idea back then, maybe not such a great idea now. So another photo mat pull out. And then this last page was using more of the stars and the stickers. A little heaven sent sticker with a little bear in a little stocking. And more photo mats here, and of course more of the sequins and buttons. And then this one was some stickers that I had too. I just stuck them on some white paper and cut it out and made a little thing, added a little button, and another of the photo mats and the pull out right there. And that is my album that I finished. It feels good to get stuff finished. I still have a long ways to go. There's only a week left in July, so we'll see what next week brings, whether I will be able to get all my projects finished or if I might just get another one or two. I'm hoping that I can get at least all the paper bag albums, since now I have a one to kind of guide me, so that I don't have to like overthink it, because that's one of my biggest problems with finishing albums, is I tend to overthink. And since I have this one as a sample, then I can just substitute the items on the pages for the theme that I'm going for. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you are finishing your projects, and yeah, we will see you again next time with hopefully the next project that I've finished. Hopefully I'll have a few videos next week with projects that I've finished. I'm going to continue to do the same, the projects that were in my July Challenging Myself video. If you want to check that out, I'll maybe link it in the description box below so that you can check that out and see what I'm trying to accomplish this month. And yeah, we'll see you next time, and have a great day. Thanks, bye.